my data, it's your data. What are you going to do with it? This policy, that policy, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And nothing happens. Entrepreneurs need access to the data. Hard-hitting teams of young military entrepreneurs, people with the fire, people that feel the mission, people that are ethical, people that are picking people to work with that they want to work with. There's no dead weight. There's no 3 people doing the job of 1 person at the State Department. There's no bullshit. The military entrepreneurs are out there and they're fucking waiting. Hey, this is John, Real Veteran News, and I'm on a roll, gonna keep going. Had another idea for another video. I was just complaining about China, AI chips, politics, bad news analysis, in my opinion, in the previous video. Now I want to talk about military entrepreneurs, which I think are really one of the untapped resources that we have, right? It's like all people in the military, generally, except for the people that are acting immorally sometimes, most of the people in the military, good people, obviously. Some are nonconformists, are ideas people, are entrepreneurs, are hustlers, they're people that can create something. It's the idea of 0 to 1. Going from a place where there's nothing and creating something that did not exist before, something useful, something valuable. That's how fortunes are made. That's how products are advanced. That's how human civilization is advanced. Like, we have to have innovation. And the way the military sources innovation now, the senior leaders or whatever basically figure out they have a requirement like, we think we're going to have to fight in Iranian subterranean tunnels. So then, we're going to need all this like underground warfare technologies and stuff like that. And it's like, I get that point where it's like, we're going to have to go pull some triggers under there and we got to blow some charges and we got some problems we got to figure out. And it's like, there's that requirement response model where dish it out to a company, they come back with something or 3. And that when there's a direct requirement, like, yes, fucking do that. And those people in there, like, a lot of times those entrepreneurs already had ideas or they're overlapping or they're responding to that requirement because they're not really like strong idea people. But like once they see the requirement, then the idea like takes hold. Or it's like a corporate manufactured solution, which is like basically you have a corporation where you don't really have like one solid ideas person or one real entrepreneur that's going to like build and drive, like create a new strong product that gets a job done at a reasonable price. It's basically like all these corporate people come together, they patch something together, they all do their piece, it works okay, it meets the minimum requirements, it costs way too much, it takes too long. Like the F-35, it's just so complicated that basically one company can't do it. You just have this one company that integrates all these other companies, and it just is what it is. I get that too. But it's like, we know this in the military that we have known knowns, or you don't really, I mean, obviously you know what you know, right? So you have known knowns, you know what you know. Known unknowns, which is like, I don't know the disposition of the enemy. Are they 50 meters away from me? Or are they 150 meters away from me? Is there 10 of them? Is there 50 of them? Like, have they hacked my network or have they gotten stuck to the firewall? Right? That's like a known unknown. And then you have like unknown unknowns, both in cyberspace and on the battlefield, right? Like, are reinforcements coming? Maybe they have some secret weapon I haven't heard of. Maybe they've, lured us into a trap or something like that. Some of these things that you can kind of predict, but then there's also black swan events, which are essentially unpredictable. So young entrepreneurs and young entrepreneur teams are problem-solving machines. They attack problems in new ways from new angles because they're operating under constrained resources, unlike the government or some corporation. And some of them will fail, and that's fine. Young people should fail sometimes so they can regroup and like build some character. But like they need to keep hitting the problem or they need to go on to a different problem or something like that. But these unknown unknowns are solved by entrepreneurs. Like, not every unknown product, product requirement match, service requirement match, technology requirements, whatever. Like, it's not going to be obviously perfectly identifiable by a military officer, sitting in a fancy chair, or even a military officer who's out crawling around on the front lines with his dick in the dirt. Yes, they have a perspective, but that's one perspective. They don't have the technology perspective. They're literally, it's like a one-way requirements process, right? My vision for it, which I had explained to some colleagues a while ago in the form of some videos, is for the military to essentially sponsor, groups of entrepreneurs to just like see what they can come up with. You know what I mean? Because it's just like in venture capital. You got 10 teams, and these venture capitalists like don't give a shit. If your company fails, it's like, okay, write them off. It's a write-off. It's a write-off. It's a write-off. They're looking for that one unicorn that's gonna make them $1 billion or make them $5 billion or something over the next 5 years. Like that one company pays for all the rest. Doesn't fucking matter. That's how the military needs to look at these entrepreneur teams. And you have to have cross-functional teams. Like you've got to have that soldier, sailor, whoever person who's got their dick in the dirt. You've got to have some sort of like leader with some experience to understand how this new thing is going to be integrated into the force and integrated into the battle, and how it's going to work out there, and how things like this have happened in the past, what has been successful, what is not. It can't just all be young people. We got to have diversity, obviously, but also technology people, technology veterans, or technology civilians that are like integrated in the team, and like everybody's bringing ideas and everyone's operating at the same level, just like Intel fusion centers in like Iraq during the JSOC like killing times, right? It's like you bring all these people together and just like they can work together and like shorten the kill loop, right? And these entrepreneur teams can kill these problems, find, fix, finish the problems. Problems are solved by technology, robots, AI, quantum, medical problems, other stuff, saving money, optimizing efficiency, just making things better. Like we have to build the infrastructure. The DoD has more data than God, okay? This shit just sits there doing nothing. People have been trying to do something with this data for years. They can't figure it out. Not from a code perspective, just from a organizational, it's my data, it's your data. What are you going to do with it? This policy, that policy, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And nothing happens. Entrepreneurs need access to the data. Hard-hitting teams of young military entrepreneurs, people with the fire, people that feel the mission, people that are ethical, people that are picking people to work with that they want to work with. There's no dead weight. There's no 3 people doing the job of one person at the State Department. There's no bullshit. The military entrepreneurs are out there and they're fucking waiting. We can dismantle a lot of this program manager bullshit. These are bullshit jobs. They don't do anything. You're just massaging this monstrosity as it rolls down the hill to some inevitable renewal, some new project or whatever. I mean, some of these things need to stay, but like that will never develop innovation, and it's slow as fuck and it's inefficient as fuck. We need small, light, efficient teams that are allowed to fail. Everyone in the government, you're all afraid to fail. And out in the world too, everyone's afraid to fail. You cannot be great if you're afraid to fail. And yes, on the battlefield, you don't want to fail because you're dead. But, in some of these other situations, we have to be afraid to fail. But in some of these other situations, we have to not be afraid to fail. When we're trying to build new technology, when we're trying to build new innovation and integrate new technologies and push the envelope, we cannot be afraid to fail. We have to be Maverick, Top Gun 2. We have to be, these heroes that we have. He's imaginary, right? But I mean, we're thinking about this like personality of this hard-driving military person that will not let it fail. And that's one of the things I want to do with this channel. In working with my friends, because like when I started speaking, friends were reaching out to me, friends want to support me, friends want to help me, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was good, and I want that, and I want a team. If we can build that team, we are outside the government. I mean, pretty much, we're basically like done, and I can show you what we can do. I can show you what the veterans can do, the veteran entrepreneurs. Yeah, it's a fucking YouTube channel, and I'm just talking shit, and maybe it's entertaining or maybe it's not or whatever. But it's like if I can do this, then the military entrepreneurs can go in there and build the augmented reality headsets and can design the new guns and can design the new optics and the new hypersonic missiles and the new aeronautical stuff and the underwater warfare, systems and AI systems and stuff like that, because you need entrepreneurs. I told you all that in my videos. We need the entrepreneurs. Right now, they're just boxed out by, essentially a bureaucrat military privilege elite, because they know once people realize the results that young entrepreneurs can provide to the military, the days of fat government contracts where you just like making cash off my butt sitting in a seat are over. A lot of them. I mean, there's always going to be some of that, but you want to make more of that. I want to make less of that. I want more entrepreneurs. I want less GovCon fat cats. I don't see it providing any value.